We're back. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so today we're talking a season that you've been really excited about.
Yes.
And now I understand the hype.
Yeah.
We're talking España.
España.
Hell yes.
We're going to España.
España. I'm so excited. I'm excited to get into this episode. I'm excited to talk about the differences of this season to other ones.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch more because so far I've only watched episode 1.
Well, and it's an introduction not only to a great season, but to a great franchise.
An excellent host, too.
Excellent host, one of my favorite hosts. Also, excellent panel.
Yes.
My favorite pseudo Michelle of the international franchises, Anna Locking. She is absolutely exquisite, and I'm obsessed with her. And I love the Javis as well. I think they're so fun. It's a really great panel, and they seem to really care about their queens. So I love them a lot.
I'm jazzed.
Except for season 3, but we don't talk about that. we love España.
We don't talk about España 3.
Yeah. Very bad.
So we're going to get into all that today. But first, we were talking before this.
Oh, yeah.
I have finally started a new reality show, which I know you and I have talked about when Canada versus the World dropped.
Yes.
I finally started The Mole.
The Mole. Love The Mole.
Love The Mole.
Such a fun, kooky show.
This show is wild.
It's so fun. First of all, it's not a social game.
No.
So there's no necessity to be liked or likable.
Right.
And so you're getting a lot of really real friction with these people. It's so interesting to watch.
Even as an audience member, I find myself having friction with the contestants.
Yeah, because they don't. That's the thing too, is they're not trying to be likable to the camera either. They're telling you what they're doing, but they're not trying to be a hero.
It's like not Chopped. What is that? Cutthroat Kitchen.
I was like, Iron Chef America?
It's Iron Chef America, yes. Yeah, it's like Cutthroat Kitchen. They're intentionally being awful.
Yeah.
And working their way through these challenges being awful.
Yeah.
And the character tropes are so different
than
what I'm used to. But it's opening up my mind to a whole new subset of reality TV.
Yeah. I think this will get you ready for the Traitors too.
I want to watch Traitors because I know that we've got Fierce, Bob coming up. Peppermint was in one.
Yeah.
Someone else did Traitors too, right? Was there someone else?
Bob, Peppermint, Fierce.
Or is that it? Melinda Verga.
My
Mother
pretty
Melinda.
cock. She's currently airing.
Yeah. So I want to get into that.
Yeah.
I want to get into this gig. But yeah, I thought The Mole was so interesting. I guess I watched the wrong season. I thought I was watching season 1, but maybe I did too.
It's the first advertised season.
Yeah.
Probably. Like, it's the season when you, like, open it.
Right.
But the one with the gay ginger.
Yeah, and Muna.
Muna.
I really like
Muna.
Muna.
Muna was probably who I was rooting for the most. So I was quite devoed when, spoilers, when she didn't win.
Yeah. I was devastated when Deanna went home.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like them for different reasons. So I like Muna because she was really like this smart, like rooting for her because she seemed like she had it all figured out. And she had a great balance of like, she really saw through people's BS. I loved it because she especially saw through the cops' BS.
Yes.
She always knew when he was lying. And I loved that about her because she, to me, felt like the main character because it's
totally.
Like, you're seeing his lies. So I love you for this.
Yeah.
But Deanna, it was so lovable because she was such an underdog. She felt the most like the audience proxy because she was like really just trying to figure it out and do her best and like keep up.
Yeah.
And like I really liked her as well.
I liked her character archetype of someone who figures things out like this outside of the show, and they sort of analyze and evaluate human behavior.
Yeah.
But they do that all through the computer.
Yeah.
And then they actually get into a realistic competition setting, and those skills are kind of transferable, but they're really hindered by their ability to do physical challenges. I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah.
And in comparison to Drag Race, we see a lot of characters that come in, like Sasha Bell, where you can tell they've been watching the show forever.
Yeah.
And they get really into the mechanics of it, but then they actually get into it and they cannot perform to the level that they mentally know is required.
Yeah.
I thought her character type was fascinating to me. So we don't see that too often, specifically in Drag Race.
Yeah.
We see those characters that hold their cards really close to their chest and really don't reveal what they're planning on doing until it gets to the late game. But even then, they're sort of just peeking one at us real quick.
Yeah.
Well, that was fascinating.
And the mole is fun because it's Drag Race is supposed to, be the Olympics of drag. This is fun because it can be anyone.
Yeah.
Like, it can be, like, really smart people, really athletic people, or it can just be, like, regular people like you and I.
Yeah.
So it's fun to have just, like, such an eclectic mix with such a volatile prompt and, like, way of navigating the show. I love it.
And especially the fact that the eliminations are so different.
Oh my gosh, I know. Yeah. Well, because it's an interesting idea. It's that you're rewarded by knowing. You're rewarded by being right. But in the beginning, that's so... for the first half of the season, it's so hard.
Yeah.
I think some of them really did zero in pretty quick. But then it's like people throw them off. And then like... they might have been right, but it's because they only had this in common with the other person.
Right.
The quiz part of it is so fascinating to me as the eliminator.
Yeah. And the quiz part is interesting too for me because it's almost like Guess Who, where you don't know if you're getting it right because you're genuinely on the nose or because you just happen to guess that someone had brown hair.
Yeah.
And that's who the mole is.
Yeah.
And that the mole happened to be in group 2.
Yeah.
Like, what was your right answer? You don't know because they do a 20 question
20
situation.
questions.
So, like, even if you do it right, you could be just blind guessing in the correct direction.
Yeah.
So then, in a case of Q, who got eliminated, came back and then got eliminated again, he probably was pretty close on his first time around in his questions. Yeah. And the second time was like, okay, well, I got eliminated. Maybe picking this person in particular, so I'm going to pick someone else.
Yeah.
And then went in the wrong direction and completely flubbed.
Yeah, so
fascinating.
Yeah, I love it, though.
Yeah. I enjoyed all the dynamics that were happening. And I know that you're a big fan of reality TV just in general. So me dipping my toes in more things and experimenting outside of Drag Race has been exciting.
Yeah, because you get some more like real sparks with this show.
Yeah.
And you get people, just like acting crazy and like
acting a fool.
Being manipulative and being shady. And like it's super interesting to see.
Very much so. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm excited to watch more. So let's jump into España. Let's talk about this. So what I found most interesting, because this is my first time around, so I have so many just exploratory, interested thoughts. And the more of these international seasons we've done that you've perceived before, and I haven't, I'm sort of approaching them with so much wonder and amazement. What's interesting is that they don't do a lot of exposition. So we've had Drag Race Thailand, where at the beginning they were like, of 2. They're like, this is Drag Race Thailand. We interviewed all these people and asked them to come in and we want to celebrate Thai culture. And that was like the premise. And with UK, it was drag is great in America, but let's find out what they do across the pond. They did that similar vein in Canada. They even set that up for Down Under. But España goes, no exposition, starts the series with RuPaul's Drag Race, Arantxa Castilla-La Mancha. Like, they do no exposition. Like, it hinges itself on you knowing Drag Race already.
Because is it Holland that just opens with a bunch of clips from, like, season 5?
5 and 8?
Yeah, just 5 and 8. And a ton of really random clips. None of that. Like, it really just feels like the next... Not even because the U.S. seasons usually start with more exposition.
Yeah.
But it was just, like... right into it, like, you know what you're getting, let's go.
Right, no lube, no poppers, pushed right in.
And starting with Arantxa is so bold.
Chaotic, but so good.
I want to ask, was it fascinating because you saw her post glow up, you saw her on Versus the World, and now you're seeing her baby. Bitty baby.
Bitty baby.
But it's great because you already love her, so you already know that she's amazing. But isn't it so funny to see her little baby on the show?
Yeah, I literally texted you. The moment she walked in, which was like maybe at 4 a.m. when I was watching
it was
this.
in the middle of the night.
So I know you woke up and were like, no, what the fuck is this bitch doing?
What this?
What is this at 4 a.m? Did someone die? I texted Jess and I was like, Arantxa Castilla-La Mancha is the first one to walk in the workroom. You did not prep me for this. I love this woman. And they said it was a design challenge and my heart sunk. I'm like, oh, this woman's out first. Oh, she's the pork chop of Spain. I panicked. Really quick, jumping ahead, but also starting here. What are your thoughts on the term pork chop queen? Because for me, para mí,
spooky you,
para España mí, this phrase is limited to whoever goes home first in a series. So like pork chop, juice, who was it in UK? Not Scaredy Cat.
Give me.
You know who I'm talking about. Gothy. So on and so forth. Like, it is the first one in the series. Room service. Right. Not like, oh, Layla and Dax are pork chops.
Yeah, I get what you mean. They're the first outs, but they're not the pork chops. No, I see what you mean. Because I see that term used interchangeably of pork chop just first out. Mm-hmm. But I see what you mean. Pork chop is the first out of a franchise. The first out ever.
You're that archetype. You're not the Kelly Mantle.
Yeah, Arantxa is the Chanel.
Okay.
Macarena is the pork chop.
I love Arantxa so much. I'm obsessed with her. She comes in the workroom looking like freaking Hannah Montana.
With her little blow dryer. Her blow dryer and her botas.
Her little barely knee-high white go-go boots. The sunnies on her head. She looks so cute.
The wig. Well, and I love that she's very clear in her branding that she is Spain's Hannah Montana.
I'm obsessed with her.
That's pretty iconic.
It's bold to start with her.
I know, right? But also, like, could you imagine her coming in with like 10 queens there? Like, they would eat her up.
Oh, fully. So then Sagittaria comes in next into the workroom. And I know this name from España All-Stars.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the wiki does not list their names. And I'm still getting used to their faces.
Okay. Well, if you need...
Sagittaria, the one in black?
Sahi, let me look at her. She's the blonde. She's the one that wore the balls. For her sewing look. She's the blonde. She's the one that looks like Aquaria. That's the kind of the joke, is like she's the Aquaria of Spain. She came in the blue. Sahi is...
Yes.
I call her Sahi because it's easier for me to say than her full name.
The nipples out are killing me.
The nipples out, I don't even know if she's 21, but she's so 21-year-old in drag.
Totally.
But in the sense that she is still like quite polished, like in a lot of things.
That
like,
mug.
Yeah, together.
It's mugging. The hair is beautiful.
So do you know what's so funny about Sahi? She's not a Sagittarius. So that's what makes me believe even more that she really is just the Aquarius of España, and that she modeled herself after Aquaria.
You know that like Solid Snake shock sound that's like whoop? Yeah, that was literally my inside my brain when you said that she's not a Sagittarius.
She's a Leo.
What?
Her birthday's in July.
What's July?
She's a Leo.
Leo. Okay.
Which that's so Leos would let you know they're a Leo.
I thought Leo was.
Oh wait, no, she's a Cancer.
Yeah, I was like, Leo
Cancer
is
ends. Yeah, Leo is the end of July into August. No, she's a Cancer.
Okay,
but I guess Canceraria didn't have the same. But
well, I mean, Drag Cancer doesn't really seem like a good stage name. Yeah, then everyone's gonna be like, oh, that's so. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm still getting used to their names and their faces. So I'm trying to remember who's who.
Well, you can always call out. Oh, was this the one that you thought was her?
Yeah,
that's Dovima.
They have very similar mugs.
Well, they're also they were roommates.
Okay, so then next in the room is Hugasio
Crujiente, which I think means crunchy. Crujiente, I think that means crunchy. I don't know what Hugasio means.
My Spanish is so so bad. They're the one that came in this really artistic look, right? Okay, yes. I do remember their face.
She's super fun, super creative, super interesting.
I'm obsessed with this sort of droopy paint, like acrylic paint that got watered.
It's very painterly. Her drag in general, like through both looks we've seen, she paints herself like a woman in a painting, not a drag queen. And I kind of love that.
I don't think we've ever seen this before.
Yeah.
Not someone who looks like they stepped out of a watercolor or acrylic painting.
Yeah, she just like, and she carries it through her costuming so much as well. Because I don't know, you see this sometimes where like the queen is like mugged down and then the look is like fun, cute, or it's like, you know, mug 10 out of 10 and they have like the Ariel Versace like costume like wardrobe
drag
carousel.
Ariel.
Just, you know what I mean, the bodysuit saloon girl stuff. Like, you don't always have the girl who like has the makeup but then like carries it through their entire drag.
This carries through.
Yeah.
From start to finish line, it's carrying all the way through.
I think she's super cool.
You know that one painting? I forget what it's called. It's the primary colors that's got like the black border around it. And then there's the white boxes too.
Are you talking about the Liechtenstein stuff?
I think so. It's
Roy
like
Lichtenstein?
It's literally like the squares and boxes.
Well, I think there's
stuff.
another artist that does it, but no,
that's pop art.
What, Mama? That's pop art. What
Mama,
artist
that's camp.
is that? Sorry to all the art history girlies.
Jake and I just talked about this the other day because they got a pair of underwear in their like K box that they get, and it was that painting. And it was like, who is that? And he goes, I don't know. I think so. Yeah. And Jake didn't know, and I was like,
Dutch.
You're art. You are art.
I always just thought that was like a random thing for forever. Like,
really?
You know, like I just thought that was like a pattern that was around.
Didn't Angeria wear that during the art ball?
Oh, she might have. No, she did. She so did.
Yeah, I really like that reference. I think that's fun.
Art.
Did someone mention art? Then next in the workroom is Carmen Farala.
Carmen Farala. Looking like a woman.
Like a woman coming into top model.
In her Versace.
Even her walk-in where she did that slow strut where like the shoulders walk first. The legs are not moving first. They walk by the shoulders. And then everything sort of just follows along in that line.
Yeah.
And she walked in with that hair flipping behind her. Bitch, I lived.
I'm obsessed with her. And it's so like, it's borderline tacky trashy, this entrance look.
Borderline?
Yeah.
What do you mean borderline?
This is probably like honestly the most like ridiculous, atrocious thing she wears all season. But I kind of love it as her entrance look because, you know, spray tan on 1000. Her signature hair, like she usually does, like she's one of those queens where like her hair is always real woman.
Yes.
And like her presentation,
Mama, this is human.
She's very womana, and I love that about her.
With bare paint can.
Well, and I love, how do I say this politely? I love those drag queens where like out of drag they're just like a really well manicured, good looking guy.
Yeah.
But in drag they are womana. They are
femme queen.
Yes, I love that.
I'm obsessed. Like Cameron Michaels.
Yes,
is a lot like that.
Yes, I love that. I just it's something about it is so fun. I feel like it's just such a great celebration of the fluidity of gender.
Kendall gender?
Of Kendall Gender, yeah. But I love her in her fake Versace. And even you see it, I'm gonna talk about this multiple times. I've already told this about why I love Carmen, but you're gonna see this like carried in her in everything, but you even see it as early as her entrance. She's never seen Drag Race.
Right.
And I feel like she's not entering the workroom like other queens who know how queens enter the workroom on Drag Race. She's entering the workroom as she would enter the workroom.
Yeah.
And so that was why she didn't want to watch the show beforehand. If I remember reading this correctly, she didn't want to influence how she was going to operate and how she was going to be acting on the show.
That's brilliant.
And that's so real. It's because one thing is good to study, but if this show really is what it's supposed to be, which is the Olympics of drag and a test of your drag, you shouldn't need to have to watch the show to be good at it.
Period.
Obviously, it will give you an upper hand, but she wanted to be her in the competition and not be influenced by what she saw was the things that got you far on Drag Race, and try to tailor it to being Carmen Farala trying to do good on Drag Race, which we see as the downfall to so many exquisitely talented queens,
especially the international ones who are working with someone who is not RuPaul.
Yeah, they're trying to tailor to the RuPaul package.
High key, I won't name any names, but there are some queens in that first season of Canada's Drag Race and Holland, and I can only assume in Thailand as well, that tailor their package to what Ru would like.
Sweden.
And then Brooke and Fred, Pangina and Art are like, nah, dog. And you can tell even that Supremme is so different in the way that she tackles it.
Supremme Deluxe.
I'm obsessed with her.
Isn't
I cannot
she amazing?
Wait.
Yeah. I love her.
We'll get to her in a moment. But the Carmen's energy, I know she wins. Spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
I know she wins. So it's interesting going in to this season fresh, not knowing anything else about it other than Carmen is the winner, because no one on Twitter can shut up about how good Carmen is.
Okay, and I don't want you to like have such a high expectation for her, because it's just fun to watch her organically be her. I think that's what's so great about her. I think that's why people respond to her so well. It's like, this is just her doing her drag and showcasing it. So it very much feels like what we say we like is the lack of observer effect. Like, she's not doing drag for Drag Race fans. Yeah,
she's doing it for her. I'm understanding why people are obsessed with her, because her energy is distinctly different than every other contestant. Even her confessional when she didn't win the maxi and she goes, it's probably because I already won the mini and they didn't want to reward me twice. It's sort of like, it's not delusion. It's completely ignorant energy, not knowing how the show operates. She's going off of something that would happen in Top Model or in Runway or whatever other reality show where they don't do that.
Yeah, and she's just so like casually cunty.
Yes.
Because she is pretty bitchy, like sharp, completely. But like, not in a way that's unlikable.
What I find most interesting about her is that she, by all intents and purposes, is the main character of that workroom. When she talks, all heads go.
Well, and the second she came in, because I remember when she came, I was like, who is this bitch? Because everyone seemed like they either knew her or like they just had such a strong reaction to her.
Reverence.
Yeah, and like she felt like a center character from then on out. I agree. So I mean, that's boss bitch energy, I guess.
Yeah.
But I love her. I think she's a hoot. I look forward to seeing more of her.
Yeah, me too. I find her fascinating as a Drag Race character, because most of the time when people are talking in the workroom, most people are doing their own thing. They're having their own little side conversations. People would stop painting, sewing, crying, and having breakdowns in the corner and would listen in, and we're only paying attention to her.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't happen on any other season. Yeah. Insane to see that happen. Next, we have Poopy Poison.
What a name, by the way. What a name.
And what a look.
Poopy Poison.
Does it mean poop?
It's literally just poopy poison.
Poisonous poop. That's insanity. She comes in a yodeler outfit, which is
also
bananas.
Yeah.
She has big Srimala energy.
She does. She has big, like, woman in a sitcom energy.
Hiya, skanks.
Like, she's a variant of Barbara Jean.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. Barbara Jean meets Srimala.
Like, can't you see this woman, like, barging into, like, the main character's home? Like,
totally.
Hey, like, I'm learning how to yodel. Like,
and
you
then
know.
The audience laugh track starts.
Yeah. I am obsessed with her. Like, she's crazy.
She's bananas so far, and I just love.
She's crazy auntie.
That she's got this, like, psychotic energy about her.
Yes.
But it's like, I don't say psychotic in a mean or negative way. It's like, you are a crazy drag queen.
Yeah. Well, and she's someone who's also highly revered. She's a name in their country. And I think it's said later in the season that, like, it was almost a risk for her to compete. So I'm assuming she's someone of stature. She's a celebrated entertainer out there.
I hate to bring up this reference, but is she like a Tina Burner? Someone that everyone kind of knows about?
I don't know why of all people.
Well, Why was that your reference, you dumb bitch? Well, because like Tina was a really well-known person, or like Madeline Hatter in Dragula.
Yeah, Madeline. Yeah,
Maybe Madeline's a better
I
reference.
could see that. Yeah, because I don't know how big she is and like how long she's been in the industry. I'm uncultured.
Well, we
I'm
don't
baby
live
swine,
there.
but I know that she is a big deal.
Okay, not a big deal.
She's
Miss Cracker mentioned.
She's a real big deal.
Then we have Killer Queen coming into the workroom. In my notes, I wrote more like copy.
Wow.
I know
Because
that
of the blue.
The blue, and I know that that's supposed to be a hospital nurse reference.
Because she's giving
Because she's a nurse,
healthcare
right?
professional.
Or a doctor?
I think she's a nurse. So sorry
Yeah.
if she's a doctor. Well, no, not so sorry because
She's giving blue nurse joy. I actually am
I think
obsessed
she
with this
is a
look.
nurse, and I love it.
I think so.
Well, I think it's cute that she makes that part of her drag because
Right.
that should be celebrated.
I agree, and
love-
that's a profession,
love-
especially at this time, that was really getting overlooked.
Yeah, well,
everything they were doing.
Yeah, still to this day, it's
True.
it's like a dying profession at this point because
Yeah.
we're losing people willing to put up with the bullshit of the healthcare system in the U.S.
I can only imagine what it's like in other countries. I love this Spice Girl hair. She's looking really cute. This is one of my favorite entrance looks.
I think you're gonna really like Killer Queen. If I had to make a
enjoying
guess,
her.
when I was watching her, she always struck me as someone who I think her drag will resonate with you. Because she borders this line of like, there's a lot of different, she's one of the people where there's a lot of different references happening, but she's really good at synthesizing all of it
Yeah.
into like a really cohesive look. But it's always like, it feels like familiar. It feels like a reference. It feels like something, but
But it feels brand new at the same time.
yeah, I enjoy that about her.
I mean, even
her
this
drag.
this look is so big and bulky. But there's a focal point with all the whites and then the triangle right in the middle.
Yeah.
I thought this was a really fun way to introduce herself. You know who it's almost kind of giving, and I hate that I'm even comparing Queens on episode 1, but it's giving like Vanda energy.
Oh.
Like really big, bold, covered up, bulky materials, but it looks sleek and tall and thin.
Yar.
And Vanda did a really good job at that. Vanda was always covering up everything, but it never looked like the costume was wearing her.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So then we have
Yeah.
Dovima Nurmi.
Yes.
So cute out of drag.
Oh my gosh, yeah, what a little cutie, right?
A cutie patootie. Okay, so we've discussed them because of their look. Their mug is really severe.
They are severe. I mean, them coming in with their little bell, like ding 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 ding, and then like throwing it, and their like whole look.
Can I mean, you've been watching these international seasons.
Spill.
And you pay attention to these. Do you think this woman right here, do you think this woman inspired other people's makeup journeys? Because to me, this looks like a blueprint for what Crystal Versace did.
Oh.
It looks like a blueprint for some mugs that we've seen in the more kind of recent years.
Well, I can
of
definitely
Drag
name
Race.
women who look like this. And I mean, like, it's, well, because Crystal's supposed to be like a stamp of the Raven mug, I would say.
Right.
Well, I love Dovima's, and she does it the best. She's a brand of mug I love it. She paints like the evil queen from Snow White.
Yeah.
She paints like a fucking villainous woman.
If John McClane slayed.
If John McClane slayed, yeah. So tea, but does she not look like the evil queen?
She totally does.
Like that, like the thin brow, and it's like, it's beautiful, but it's so severe, and it's like so villainous.
Everything's arched and
Yes.
angled, pointed.
Yeah, I love it. I really, really love it. And she carries it through in her drag as well. Because some people do that mug and then just dress like, an auntie.
Goodwill.
Yeah, but she's very intense in her drag. Like,
Yeah.
she's very gothic and very like dark. I love it.
Completely. She has such a specific brand face. This almost looks like other people were replicating it later. Because I'm thinking about Aurora from the current season of Dragula.
Oh.
She does this mug too.
Well, yeah, I guess it's kind of old Hollywood, but
Yeah.
I really see it as like old villain. I
Old
think
villain.
that's very much like a thing that like touches the gay heart, I think, you know.
We love villains and cunty queens.
Yeah, evil queen Nelania. Now that I remember that's her name because of Nelania the queen.
Yeah. Fascinating though. I love her mug, and this timeline wise would have been years before a lot of these seasons that I'm referencing have come out.
Yeah.
So
it's also funny kind of storyline wise how she's all like dark and evil looking, and then Sahi's in like her like blue like light frilly dress, and they have their whole storyline this episode.
yeah, that storyline was really intense for first episode. I feel like that drama doesn't usually come out until maybe episode 2.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Aquaria and Cracker, where that drama did not come out until about mid-episode. They came through the gates.
They had like a baby Alyssa Coco moment.
Yo, very that.
It was like a very, very small version of it, but I kind of loved it. Because it's also like, because they're children, so it's funny that they have beef like this. Like, whereas Alyssa and Coco like have been in the industry and like had like real things happen.
For 15
These
decades.
24-year-olds are like, oh, this bitch, you know? I love it.
And didn't they imply it was over a boy?
I believe so.
In episode
It was
1.
relationship drama.
I'm excited to figure out what this is and get to the bottom of it.
Yeah. Nancy drew it out.
Next is Inti.
Love Inti. She's so slay with her purse.
I'm going through the wiki. I'm going to get it. Oh, that's right. She was in the red. Okay. I'm going to
Yes.
get all these women's faces and names together soon.
Yes.
There are a couple of them that I remembered. The little,
The hermaphrodite purse.
yeah, that was cunty.
Extremely. And it was a big talking point, which I loved. But I also love that like they make space for it.
Yeah.
And like she's very like progressive, and like she's very like queer youth, and I love
Future
it.
of drag.
Yes, and I love that they make space for it. She's so fun. I'm a huge fan of her. She's so cool.
Yeah. A lot of their POV seemed to be what they said was, what would the future look like if Indigenous people were still here and active and present in society? And I think that is such a really beautiful message, because there are so many Indigenous people or descendants of Indigenous people who have had so much of their land and culture and tradition stripped away from them.
Yeah.
They're trying really hard to reclaim some of that.
Yeah.
Figure out where they stand in the modern world away from the stereotypes. I love the idea of taking that and being really progressive forward thinking, because we haven't had a character like this.
I honestly, her thesis of drag is like one of the coolest I've heard, and it like makes me love her all the more, because like that is just such an amazing idea, and you absolutely see it. It's so forward thinking, but it's also so like cultural and referential, and like also I just think it's really great to see Indigenous people in multiple countries, like we've seen it down under, seeing it in Spain, because like I think it's important for, I mean, obviously the viewers in Spain to see, but also for viewers say in like the US to remember like the importance of like Indigenous lives like all around Canada. Like I love how much representation all of the, more than US, I don't think we've gotten like any Indigenous.
Trixie talked about having some heritage, but
Alexis
really mentioned
Michelle.
it one time. Okay, the podcast is over.
But like, I think the international seasons do such a better job of really highlighting and celebrating the Indigenous queens and Indigenous culture.
Alona, I think, tried really hard to bring that to the forefront, but I just don't think the runways were conducive for that.
Yeah, but it's a good reminder that Indigenous people are everywhere, and they have not gone away.
Right.
And they're still, creating beautiful things as they always have been and always will continue to do. And it's important to highlight Indigenous artists around the world. So I love her being there. I think she's so cool.
I'm going through Project Runway, and there's a character or a designer that was just on the last season that I watched, and she is a Native American, and for her final runway package that she prepared for Fashion Week, she sourced all of her own metals to create her jewelry. She sourced all of her own fabrics, created her own textiles.
Wow.
And I think that is such a beautiful story to tell, and gets so often just overlooked. So I'm really excited to see Inti for that reason, because I just got off of that season, and I'm getting into a new one. So Inti's cool. I think they're a fun one to watch. I'm excited to see them. Next is in the workroom, Drag Volcano.
Yeah.
Wild look. The
Wild
stomping
woman.
sound effect.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, those shoes. Get used to those shoes, mama.
The Club Kid shoes.
Those stompers. Well, also, okay.
Stompers.
Drag Volcano, she is the first of many. You're going to see a lot of her children on the show as well. Her house, the drag canaries, I think is what they're called. Because they're from the Canary Islands.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
I think that's what they're called, but they are kind of a staple of the franchise.
Is Drag Tarantula? What was that person?
Tarantula. Are you talking about her?
Yeah, her.
No, she is. That's Killer Queen's daughter.
Oh, okay.
No,
sorry.
But, there's someone in her house. I don't know. I haven't gotten to season 4 yet, but
okay.
Drag Sethless is on next
I know that
season.
name. They were in All Stars.
Yeah, she was also on All Stars. And then season 3, I don't remember her name, but it's Drag something.
That's so cool.
It's cool, and they all have a really similar POV, but it's one of those things where it's like they all have the same POV, but they all have their own flavor.
Fascinating.
So yeah, she's the first in the franchise, but I think she's the mother as well, or she might be like one of the
I
son.
like that.
But
this look is cool. The spikes and the structural nature of this,
with the like white face,
the whitest of white faces to make everything pop, which was
Yeah.
smart. I really love the structure of this.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I love how huge she is, like how larger than life her drag is. Also, she's probably for me, para mí, the trait of the season.
Oh yeah, there's some cuties.
There's some cuties. A lot of the like España queens are just cute in general, but
Very.
like something about Drag Volcano out of drag, I'm like,
that does it for you.
Yes,
You're like,
it does.
that's it. Next in the workroom is the Macarena.
La Macarena.
What a fucking mess.
You don't live for the look. What is she? Is this a specific character? Because it's like kind of Princess Peach. It's kind of Sailor Moon.
It looks like it's a cosplay of something. I was getting Sailor Moon right away, but the star brooch is what's throwing me off.
The star brooch is so Super Mario, isn't it?
This has to be an anime character or something.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. And that big exaggerated bow.
Yeah.
Them bringing in the snacks like freaking Mimi, I'm first.
She is so she's larger than life. Also, she's one of those queens, and you see it a lot in España where she calls everyone fag.
They shout out fag every 5 seconds.
Isn't it? I kind of love it.
I
think it's kind of hilarious that like literally every 5 seconds they're screaming fag at each other. I think it's hilarious.
I thought it was a mistranslation. And then I looked it up and I was like, nope, that's what they're saying.
They're really out here doing it. But you know what?
They're out here hate criming each other.
I kind of love how forward they are with it in society. They're not going around calling each other zesty.
Mummies. They're just shouting out the F slur.
You're so girly pop.
I am kind of obsessed with the messiness, but I mean, yeah, she was a disaster. So we meet our host. It's Supremme.
Supremme Deluxe.
Incredible presence, first off.
Yes.
Just a presence. I'm really excited to see more of her judging through this season. And we do our very first mini challenge of España.
Yeah.
Which is to ride a mechanical bull and take photos on it.
Fierce.
I will say.
What'd you think? Oh.
This is crazy.
Yeah. This is crazy.
Insane to get on a bull in full drag, get tossed around. I loved Carmen hooking her foot on the bull's horn and not fucking getting bucked off of it.
Yeah, with her skirt riding up.
Balls out.
And everyone else like screaming at her. Because I also love that. Because, you know, if this was the US, they would be in there one at a time.
Oh, fully. I love that they all got to watch.
I love that just like España has it, Philippines has it. I think Thailand has it.
Yeah.
There's a certain sense of camaraderie and like familialness that this cast creates immediately that
Yeah.
certain international seasons do so much better. Certain US seasons do have that every once in a while, like a certain cast, but these international seasons do it so well, so immediately, where they all become so bonded, and like they're all like, I mean, maybe it's just their culture, but it's like they're all like, yeah, they're screaming at each other, they're cheering each other on, they're immediately joking with each other like
Yeah.
that. And it was so fun, yeah, to see them all together in the room,
Very
like doing
that.
this crazy mini challenge. Because yeah, if this was US, they would come in one at a time.
Right.
They would get a little
Banter with
confessional.
Ru.
RuPaul would be laughing at them with the photographer, and that
Right.
would be it. So it was so fun to have the vibe of them all together.
I
for that.
enjoyed that camaraderie quite a bit, and I enjoyed that they all got to see each other's reaction to it, because then they can sort of adjust and prepare how they want to present
Exactly, yeah.
themselves.
Well, because then also they're all trying to one up each other. They're all trying to do
Exactly.
better than each other. Like, it really does create a more fun challenge.
And Carmen was like fourth up or something.
Yeah.
So they all see her hooking her foot on that and not falling off, literally like dangling off the side with her hair almost coming off. And they're like, okay, I'm going to do better than this bitch. And then they don't. It sort of creates even more standards for the ones who really do well, because it's
Yeah.
like you held your own and you got to see
Yeah.
everyone else
Yeah,
do
it was so. I lived for her, hooked on, holding on for dear life,
Yes.
hair waving. It was almost a photo shoot.
It was really
It was
cool.
almost a top model moment. Like,
Very that.
If the tuck hadn't been popping out, like, but again, like, you just love Carmen right off the bat. She's
do.
just like,
She's that girl.
she's that girl.
And the photos were actually really good. I was thinking they were going to be little Polaroid blurry pieces of
Well,
bullshit.
you know, it'd be like them trying to get like a goofy photo of them like looking like a mess. But yeah, a lot of them got actually like pretty good photos for what they were doing.
I was shocked.
Because like that's like, yeah, props to the photographer, because I'm like, how do you get a good photo of them like when they're jerking around like that?
Yeah.
And like for a lot of them, like they didn't look like they were that like pained. You know, like I would be like, oh, like so strained holding
I
on
feel
for
like
dear
maybe
life.
they got a couple extra seconds before they showed us them getting bucked.
Yeah.
I feel like they got a few seconds to like get a good shot, and they were like, okay, now we're going to make TV. Have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought that was interesting for the very first mini of all time. Carmen wins that challenge.
She do.
It was cunty. And they get announced their very first maxi challenge, which is a sewing unconventional materials challenge.
Love.
So it's like a rummage sale where they have boxes that are displayed like they do in a lot of the American seasons.
Yeah.
They have to just pick their box and use whatever's in there.
Yeah.
We've talked about these types of challenges before, where the materials are not always created equal among
Yeah.
everyone. Some people get props that you can't really deconstruct and
Yeah.
put into a costume. Some have fabrics.
Yeah. It's like some are toys, some are lawn decorations. Like it's really all
Bathroom
over the place.
supplies.
There seems to be it's usually whatever I think is cheap and easily sourced for productions.
Yeah.
Because like there's usually balls from a ball pit, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. There's like
They always have balls. What's up with that?
those must really be cheap and easy to get, right? Probably because
Dollar
they make
store?
so many of them for ball pits.
Oh,
like,
probably.
They're probably something that you can buy in bulk,
They've
but
got to be.
then there's also always things like pool floaties. Like, you know, there's just always random things where it's like, why do they always have this stuff? But
Yeah.
it is kind of becoming more of a standard where they are getting a little less specific, where it's sort of just becoming like, yeah, rummage sale, like
Right.
clearing out old rooms, like storage, like
This
luggage,
is Brad's closet.
yeah, stuff like that, where it's like a couple pieces of usable, tangible fabric,
Right.
and then a bunch of
Crap.
objects that you can take apart.
Crap. Like actual crap. Yeah, I liked the idea of unconventional materials for the first one because it really shows your ability to source materials from the start.
Yeah.
What your drag aesthetic is when you are given nothing. Because a lot of these queens seem to have very stamped brands. They seem to have a very specific aesthetic. So when you can hire a designer to make your aesthetic pop for you,
Yeah.
what are you going to do when you don't have access to any of those tools normally? And some of them really went for it. Some of them missed the mark. And then some of them just had a good time with it.
Yeah.
And
agree.
I liked the energy. Supremme's workroom walkthroughs, I wrote down in my notes, she's got dad energy.
She does. Okay, so something I love about her is like she's comforting in and out of drag as a presence. Like, because some of them try to be like fierce boy out of drag,
Right.
but like she's like how Mama Pao is for me when we get to Philippines, where she's her character in drag. I think Supreme is one of the ones who's the most loving in drag as well, because some of them also try to become really fierce cunty in drag and become the severe like mother.
Fred.
Yeah. Supreme is such a loving motherly figure in drag as well, but also out of drag. Like they are just like really like, and I don't know if they were, I can't remember if they were like in television or what, but they're such a good presenter type person, but super caring, super individual, like to that person. And I love that.
They have a really nice presence both in the workroom and that translates to TV. So I don't know if that always translates well with presenters that have that more nurturing energy.
Yeah.
It doesn't always click.
Yeah. No, I get that. I feel like her, Pangina, and Mama Pao are my holy trinity of hosts.
Yeah.
For me, para mi.
Me.
They're like my three favorites.
I love Art too. I'm obsessed with Art.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Well, she's not dead, but she just we want her to rest peacefully.
Yeah.
So our main judges are the Javis.
Yes.
They're so cute.
So cute. I know the bigger Javi. It's like the big boulets.
Big Javi, little Javi.
There's big Javi, little Javi. Curly hair, little Javi. Big Javi was. I don't know what actor I could equate him to, but he was on a show called, I think it's called Física or Química, Physical or Chemical. Sort of like Freaks and Geeks, Skins.
Oh.
It was a teen drama Degrassi, like all of that. From what I've gathered, that's the kind of show it was. But that was where he got his start.
Got it.
I also know that them together, they made La Veneno.
Okay.
They made I think there's multiple, but they made the Spanish one. The series about her, which is slay.
Oh. Yeah, they seem interesting so far. I'm curious to see what's going to happen to the rest of the season. I'll get into that in a second. Our very last regular judge is Anna Locking.
Queen,
She's
love her.
so pretty. She was in Drag episode 1.
Oh, yes, Mama. Get used to it.
I also love that she really seems to know her fashion history.
So that's what I love about her is that's what they're trying to get with Santino. Is they're trying to get someone who had a tangible knowledge of sewing, of fashion.
Right.
And it's a Michelle who actually knows clothing and sewing and construction.
Right.
And fashion houses and references. And I think that's so fun. She's not just like a bitchy, like, yes man to RuPaul.
Right.
Which sometimes the pseudo RuPaul, the pseudo Michelle can be, or even like the gay to the host side. And that's what I really love about the Javis is they're very much their own people. And then Anna is very much her own woman. And like, she's got the references, she's got the knowledge.
Yeah.
And she's so fabulous.
Yeah.
And so nice. She's really supportive too.
Right.
None of them really are mean. I think there's a favoritism problem in 3 is the thing I don't like, but like there are really supportive judges and they really celebrate these queens drag, and that we'll get to it in the judging. Even like some of it is translation, but the way the verbiage that they use is very fascinating because they'll say things like the way you defended your idea with your look and stuff. Like I know some of that is translation, but like the way they talk about their stuff is very fascinating to me, and like they're very passionate about it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of the season, and I hope that the editing is a little more flexible because in episode 1 they got 1 second bullet point critiques. Every queen got literally only one piece of criticism that was aired, and I'm sure it was longer than that. One critique, and that was it. And I was like, wait, I want to know what everyone is saying.
What happened?
Oh, I want to know what Anna's saying every single time because she's got some really good things to say. And I want to know. And I think she is kind of the ideal femme judge because she has a specific reference point of drag. Sometimes I feel like they just sort of get like a fruit fly or like a fag hag that just sits there and is like, yes, mama, work.
Yeah. Fabulous blonde woman.
Or they're like Elizabeth Shue in Holland, where they don't provide anything. They're just there and they've got all the references and points, but they don't ever address them or bring them up. So I think Anna's interesting and cool so far. Wait, what is this? What are you showing me? Are these her looks?
These are all things she's worn.
Oh my God. Drag. She is giving drag. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see more
She
of
is
her.
that bitch. Like, I love her. And she's like, she really like outdresses the queens like on some episodes. She's so fun.
She is going in with production. I like her already. She's wonderful. What are these looks?
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see more
Just
of her.
to say
This
how-
first one was incredible too.
Yeah. She's so fun.
Yeah.
And, well, okay. And that's the thing is like, some of these women are just here to be pretty women. She really gets the drag. Like, she gets the freak of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I love is like, it's the like kind of weird, kind of ugly, kind of off.
Yeah.
That she's so into. And I love that she has that eye.
I think that's important because fashion is so subjective.
Yeah.
But fashion doesn't always have to be super high glamour. Fashion can be a lot of different things. Fashion can be art.
Yeah.
And I think she understands that.
Yeah, well, it's so exhausting when you get an outside judge who views drag like with the eyes of like looking at pedestrian woman clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, of course this is going to look weird to you or this is going to look crazy to you. Like, you have to like think about it through the world of drag. And like, I think all these like judges really get it. So I love that about this panel.
Yeah. Me too. So should we talk about the constructed looks? Because we love doing
The
this.
sewn looks, let's get into it.
Okay, so I'm going to do my best to try and remember everyone's names.
Okay, yeah.
Obviously, I know Arantxa. I was
Arantxa.
certain that this was her downfall. I was like, knowing that
This
she
color
went home,
block.
I was like, oh, Arantxa's out because she went home during the ball in UK too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is it. She's going to go home. And then she was safe and I exhaled a really deep breath.
Yeah, not
and
even
was
low.
happy. Not even low. So we've got like a kind of pink lemonade tube top, little mini skirt.
It's very cartoon to me, like Powerpuff Girl, like
She's giving bubbles.
She's giving
Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls.
Buttles. But like the color blocking, I mean, the concept is cute.
Yeah.
The wig is crazy.
The wig is insane. I will give you that.
Love the shoes. Not with this outfit, but love the shoes.
What's the storyline with the purple puff shoes?
Take a look at the sole of that shoe, though. Like, RuPaul would hate that shoe.
Okay,
Michelle
but
would
check
hate-
out the bottoms. That is a croc.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what I mean. The track, the traction, like you could go hiking in those. You could go hiking in the rain and you would not slip, mama.
Those are non
Even on the heel, there's divots on the heel.
Yeah, these
She
were
was
work
squeaking
function
on the
shoes.
runway. It was like
She's so brave for this.
I freaking love her. She's so brave. She's incredible.
I love everything about her. She looks so doofy, but I'm obsessed. I hope that I get a long run with Arantxa because I'm not sure what to expect. But I hope I get a long run with her. And
Yeah.
I fear that I won't, but I want it.
I honestly, though, I don't think she had a bad look compared to some of the other people.
No.
Like, I honestly don't think we'll get to it. I don't think Dovey had the worst look. I think Poopy and Macarena should have been the mom, too.
Oh, girl.
But
yeah.
let's get to all right,
Then we
who's
got
next?
Carmen. Carmen Farala. She looks beautiful.
She's like Bianca, where she came out in a finished garment that was like, you could have brought this.
It looks like she brought it from home.
And like, it feels like a beautiful continuation of her entrance, where it's like, she is that woman. She's casual. She's gorgeous. She's tanned. The blue and white looks so good on her skin.
I think she said she made the bag too.
She sure fucking did.
She made a
let's get
bag.
into tailored pants with a belt. This beautifully fitting brassiere
I can't
with
even
the little like
believe
jacket,
that.
and then the bag and
Making
a headband.
separates for your first runway.
Yeah.
How did you have enough fabric to do this?
I know, and well, because she's smart with her fabric, she knew how to absolutely get the most yield from that fabric to make what she needed to make. I love when queens are able to make matching separates like this, because I love when queens bring looks like that.
Yeah.
Where it's matching separates. And this is just so gorgeous.
It's well constructed. It's high fashion. It's her point of view in drag. I mean, it looks like what she came in the entrance look in, but tailored and more unconventional. Maybe that's why she didn't win, was because it looked too similar to what she normally does. But I think that's a high point.
Yeah.
Like, you would normally wear this and you can make it.
Yeah, it's her drag.
Yeah. And you know how it is patterning pants. You lose so much fabric from patterning pants. And I'm willing to bet that's where the bra cups came from, was from those big segments that came out from patterning those. And then that's probably where the headband piece came from. So like you said, smart with sourcing.
Yeah.
Brilliant execution here. I just am amazed that she made this.
Yeah.
Could
so
not believe
stunning.
it. And I mean, a bag. She made a bag.
A bag? A wedge?
Aranja in a wedge. Okay, so then this is
Dovima Nurmi.
Dovima.
I call her Dovie.
In mesh and rope.
In mesh?
In mesh.
Okay, so we're just doing this in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
In runway order, I know Sahi came up first. And I was saying when I texted Jer about this, that they were crazy with the soundboard because they were doing the like the cymbal flare. So Sahi came out and it was like, psh. And then Dovima came out and it was like, psh. And I couldn't tell. I was like, am I supposed to like this? Because the sound editing was so weird for it.
The sound editing is crazier than they did in Holland. I thought the Holland soundboard team went overboard. And then watching España, mama, no. They went crazy with the soundboard.
Can I be controversial and brave? And maybe this is my controversial opinion of the episode, but I'm going to say it now. She should have been safe.
I hear that.
I think that she was in the bottom because of Sagittaria. Because that's why I say Sahi. Because whenever I try to say her name, girl, it's rough. I just call her Sahi. Because Sahi was in the top. And I think that it really was just like, she's in the top, she's in the bottom. Because I feel like this look should have been safe. Like, there's not much to it, but honestly, I like it. The thigh high with like the roping and then the sheer dress that she made of the net is kind of weird, but I kind of like it.
Sahi were the balls, right?
Sahi was the balls. Yeah, the black balls.
Okay, so like in comparison, you have two looks that aren't really looks.
They're both basically naked with some stuff over them.
Right. Of the two, I am more interested in this nude thing with stuff on it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
It's interesting visually. I like the green. Using ropes to create a garment or an illusion of a garment is interesting to me.
Well, and it's all symmetrical. Like, it's not just like she threw ropes on it. Like,
they're tied in an interesting way.
Yeah, the knotting and everything is all symmetrical. So she created a pattern with it. But I don't know. I get if it was subpar, but I don't think it was bottom two.
I think it was definitely not impressive. This is like, I'm not very impressed by nudity. Like, period. Oh, you get to wear nothing. Look at you.
Yeah, skinny woman,
skinny privilege. Because if this were a plus size queen, that wouldn't even fly for a moment. It would get ripped apart. So like, I'm not a huge fan of that. But of the two nude with nothing on them looks, this one is more impressive than the balls.
Than the balls.
The balls. And I do love a ball. Okay, so hold on. This is Drag Volcano, right?
CC.
Okay, I'm remembering. I hate this too.
I think this is worse than Dovie's look. I think that this could have, and this was safe.
You know, Eureka loves to make these church lady capes.
This is so Eureka coded.
This is Eureka coded.
Okay, the floor length. Well, it would be floor length if she was wearing normal shoes.
Right.
The floor length purple tinsel ponytail.
I hate that.
Diabolical.
I hate that. It's so rotten. But then the church lady cape.
The church lady cape. I know the
it.
mix of like sequins, the sequin fabric and the tinsel fabric is quite atrocious.
And it's
with the like
fabric.
I know the silver is gorgeous.
Oh,
that glitter silver. It's not even sequins, glitter. That glitter silver fabric. Like imagine a gown and that like a fishtail gown or something or a mermaid gown.
This could have been so hot as high-waisted mermaid and with like a separate, just like a little bit of
Yes.
skin showing.
Yes.
And then maybe like an asymmetrical, some type of like Spanish flamenco, like flared sleeve.
The sleeve she's doing, just do on one arm.
Yeah.
As like a sleeve. Also with the weird floral headpiece. I think it should have been low.
This is really bad. Because that fabric is good.
Well, okay, especially because her look she came in with was zip ties, which makes me think you're a crafty girl who knows what's up.
Yeah.
Because she had that really cool zip tie look, and then this just didn't live up to that.
It's flaccid.
Wow, so true.
This is the after the pill's worn off. That entrance look was the pill in full force.
Wow, yeah.
The light went out of your eyes.
Speaking of pills, because I saw the next person taking pills.
Now hold on. I'm gonna get it. Tell me, what is her name? What is this woman's name?
Up next, we have Ugacio Crujiente.
Ugacio, thank you.
Ugacio. I love Ugacio. I think they're really cool.
this.
We're getting what we talked about earlier, a woman from a painting.
Yes.
She is like from a specific painting world, like something with a very specific vibe, a very specific style.
You know what this looks like to me?
Tell me.
It looks like Scream, if Scream was not like a fear painting.
Okay, so I was thinking it's very that style.
That artist.
Wavy, kind of like otherworldly. Yeah, like almost like a sad girl by the sea painted by that same artist.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she really, again, looks like a woman from a painting, and she really like brought that world with her, because it's not just, it's so interesting, like the palette of fabric she chose, and then the way she treated those fabrics and like painted them and did stuff to them to make like
creating a textile.
They look like vintage clothes. Like, it's so weird. Like, it looks like she got totally different stuff than everyone else by the way she handled it. Because, like, it came out looking like she threw together a bunch of, like, clothes she found in a chest in, like, an estate sale. Like, from from an old woman. Like,
and then upped it and revamped it.
It's so fascinating. But, I mean, speaks to her abilities because, it all looks like clothing she found, not like things she like made.
And this is totally her drag style too.
Yeah, so weird, so clearly like her point of view, which I appreciate.
Yeah, this person is very specific in their idea of who they are as an artist.
Yeah.
And I kind of love nothing more than when someone comes in as a fully fleshed out character.
Yeah.
And this Hugasio seems like one. Hugasio wins the challenge. Do you agree with that?
It's hard.
Why was that wicked?
I think I appreciate how much they really rewarded her creativity.
Right.
Because I think she had the most creative one.
Yes.
I think Carmen wins if this is a construction design challenge. But I think, Carmen wins for a construction challenge. Ugasio wins for a design challenge. Because Ugasio's is very much the most creative, most unique, most like, wow, you really took unconventional materials and made something really couture, like interesting.
And they both stamped their drag.
Yeah.
Who did it better?
And I think that's the thing with Carmen is like she wouldn't make something like this. So it's like you can't really, it's not really to her like detriment that she didn't do something super like creative and out of the box, because that's not her drag. She does Womana, and she made ready to wear things that she would wear normally in her package. So yeah, I think either of them could have won. I think it was cool to give it to Ugasio,
right,
to reward the kind of creative underdog.
I do appreciate that a lot, because the standard would be Carmen's the front runner, so we reward her.
It would be the Carmen, Minnie, and Amain, and then she'd be the front runner of the season.
Absolutely.
And so the thing is, you already know that Carmen's the front runner of the season, and she's going to be a main character for the season
because she requires herself to be that.
Yeah,
just her presence.
She was set, and she was going to be top dog regardless. So I think it was cool that we gave the win to I was there when I conferred with Supremme. I think it was cool that they gave it to Crunchy.
Yeah. Miss Crunchy. Then we have Inti.
Yes, ridiculously cunty. At least in this photo.
I'm obsessed.
With the black shoe, like the almost like a like a night slipper, like the fuzzy black shoe. But it's really cool. It's flowy yet structural. Love the hair and makeup. Her styling is always like on 1000.
Very.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty simple, but I really like it, and she's gorgeous.
It's her brand, and it doesn't have a lot to say about it because it's just good.
It's really she's very like goddess ethereal looking in this.
Yes. Okay. I've forgotten her name. Is this Macarena?
No, this is the nurse. Killer Queen.
Killer Queen. Okay. Do you know what it looks like?
Spill.
This is later. This is later in the universe, but more early in my reference point when Hanaconda made that princess dress.
Oh, okay.
It looks like that. I hate it so much. This is a travesty to all kinds of people across the universe. I love what it was supposed to be.
It's the aesthetic to me is very much like the Alice in Wonderland that's not the Tim Burton version. That's that kind of weird Technicolor. Like, this is really random, but I don't know if you remember in Dragula season 2 when they show everyone's death scenes and Victoria's at like a tea party.
Oh.
And she's in this like pastel Technicolor kind of like look.
Yeah.
It's giving very
Throwback.
that where it's that like weird like Technicolor Alice in Wonderland where like
Sure, I see that.
I don't know. It's fascinating. The green hair is what's really...
I think the green hair might be the thing that's boner killing it the most because this is all stuff that I should like. Tacky fabric, tacky colors. I think, you know what? I think that's the boner killer because if I cover the head, I like it.
What about with like really sculpted like chestnut hair up top?
Yeah, that would be nice. Something that was not this severe green.
Yeah.
Because I think I should like this.
Well, because I think she was trying to do green hair because nature?
Maybe.
Question mark? Because she has like the flowers and everything worked
Yeah.
here, so it's trying to be like the plant life.
The green should have been on the shoes.
Should have been on shoes.
I think that would have been a little more effective. Plus, is there like green underneath this fabric too? But that's an emerald. And then the actual green on the hair is lime.
Yeah, it's different greens.
Yeah, this is not my most favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, we don't love.
And then next is Srimala 2.0. Poopy Poison.
Poopy Poison.
I'm obsessed with this woman coming out
as the
in
queen
this-
of the bathroom. I think she said that. She's the queen
this
of
is
the
all
bathroom.
supplies.
With like the extended toilet bowl cleaner wand, like she added more to it so it would be like a proper staff. With the rubber duckies on her head,
They played
different
this in
curtains.
the hotel during the Canada season 4 design challenge. And Beyonce saw this and said, I'm going to make that.
I need to do this.
I need to do that too.
This is kind of iconic.
It's iconic in the way that Kelly's bacon dress is, that Naisha's money ball dress is. It's just like so bad.
I really think she should have been the bottom with La Macarena.
I cannot believe that she did not lip sync. But the way you said it and the way that the show implies, she seems like kind of a big deal that her reputation was really at risk by being there. So maybe they threw her a bone week 1. Like, you're a big deal. We're not going to give you this again. So don't mess up one more time.
And this isn't Drag Race UK. We're in the business of humiliating
Legends, right? I mean, this is rotten, but it is so bad that it deviates into iconic. It's Lala Ree's bag dress.
Okay, and that's why I think it should have been the bomb is because it is iconic, but like it's one of those looks where it's so bad you have to punish it, but then it will live on forever.
Yes. It's really wretched. Then we have Sagittaria.
CCC.
Okay. Nudity with stuff on it. I will say the use of the hula hoops is cool. I do really like the balls on the hula hoops. I wish that there was something underneath it. A mesh fabric. Literally anything.
Not just the G-string.
Right. I mean, even if this had been like the world's sluttiest pussy skirt ever, and maybe just that first from where the belt is to where that first hula hoop was, if that was just covered.
Yeah.
And then maybe and then mesh on the second layer, that would have been fine, because I do think the use of the balls is one of the more interesting ones that we've seen. Of little mini balls like this on someone's
almost
outfit
putting
before.
them in orbit around the hula hoops
Yeah,
is cool.
It's in the same conceptual lane as where Jada went with using the balls as bubbles.
Yeah, super
using
fun.
balls as like a galaxy, and especially with her name, I think this was really smart branding. But God, it was not there. The hair is really cute, 60s. This is giving retro future. I just wish that there was a little bit more to it, and even like the silhouette of the hula hoops is giving that poodle skirt.
Yeah, the way she like even strung them together was really nice.
Yeah, this could have been really fabulous.
I think she has interesting ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she definitely is getting away with being skinny.
Totally. And that's probably why she won All Stars, because she seems like someone who's got a lot of the... She won All Stars, right?
No, she didn't.
Oh, I thought she did.
No, but she was a big deal on All Stars.
Okay. I just know her name, and a lot of people were talking about
yeah.
her. She seems like someone who's got all the pieces, but just hasn't connected them yet.
Yeah.
And then last is Macarena, right?
Yes. Hey, Macarena.
So she is our pork chop.
She sure is. And I mean, I will say,
good reason.
this dress is giving pork chop. This is like really the blue, ill-fitting one piece of fabric with some shit on
underneath
top of it.
Is
I
that what
think
that pink
I
is?
think the pink is like more fabric under it, kind of like what Dax did, where they have like the dress and then there's the more dress with the different fabric under it.
I have a skirt underneath my skirt.
Yeah. I got more skirt going on under the skirt. Get into it, honey.
The beading detail with going up into the flamenco. What is this?
Shaky
the hair. And
The
rubber
yellow
dog.
hair with the pink flamenco. It is mess.
It's such a mess. Okay. Imagine handkerchief skirt and it cuts right here.
Okay.
Right above the knees.
Okay.
I think maybe that could have been interesting, because the way that it drapes from right underneath the breast cup, I think some of those lines that are in there that sort of go down.
Yeah.
I think that visually is interesting. If this had been a handkerchief and without the harem pants underneath, that could have maybe been slightly safer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's no saving this look. This is...
She can't be saved.
She is beyond help. This is rough.
Yeah.
This is really rough.
I think this... I do think it should have been her and Poopy, but I think she was the undisputed bottom of the group. I don't think Dovima should have been in there with her.
No, I don't understand why she was there. And that brings us to our very first bottom of this very first spin-off.
Yeah.
Is that we have Macarena and Dovima as the bottom two. So to a song called Sobrevivere.
Sobrevivere.
Macarena's wig came off.
Macarena's wig came off. Dovima pulled out a fucking sword.
This lip sync was insane for the first one.
Yeah. It's such like a dramatic song. I love it. And I also like when I was watching it the first time, I thought Dovima was cooked because like she's so low energy.
Yeah.
And the look was so constricting. But I mean, the sword reveal was a gag.
I was gagged.
A blade to cut your outfit out with. Like, I mean, pop off, queen.
Pop all the way off. Yeah, I was gagged. It was an interesting first one. I was expecting it to be kind of booger boots.
Yeah.
And I mean, Macarena was a little booger boots, but...
Also, I loved how intense it was because they usually do such a pop, like, up song for the first episode. So I loved this incredibly dramatic, like, intense song. I thought it was so fun. So funny.
For the very first one ever. For this franchise.
With, like, this really dark, like, severe-looking woman and then this clown losing her wig, like, calling everyone a fag. I love Macarena. I really do.
Obsessed with her.
Yeah.
She's fascinating as a character, and it was cool to see her because I've heard her name many times.
Yeah, and I have a feeling
She
we
comes back for
haven't
All Stars,
seen-
right?
She actually comes back for a regular season. She comes back for...
Spoiler.
I'm so sorry.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
She comes back for 3.
What?
If I'm remembering correctly, is she on 3?
That's wild. That's cool, though.
Because I don't think she's on All Stars. I think she's just a regular contestant. Which I mean, fair, because she goes home first.
Yeah, she got the least amount of time to prepare for it.
And she comes back like a totally different queen as well.
I'm kind of loving that.
I try to find it, and I'm only finding information about the song. I need to preface Drag Race.
I did like that at the end of it, of the lip sync, all the judges pass cards to each other. Seems like they all get equal say in who goes home, that it's not this monolith decision like it is many times.
Yeah.
They do that in Canada with the head nodding.
Yeah, well, especially, but it's more interesting because, like, with Brooke, I think it was to sort of make her not on the same level as RuPaul. I think Supremme could.
Yeah, totally.
But
she's got the right energy for it.
But the panel all seems to have a really great rapport, and they all really respect what each other says. And I think they all say valuable things. Like, I mean, it's only been one episode and they've been like bullet point critiques, but I think as you'll go on, you'll find that their critiques aren't as frustrating as other franchises can be.
I'm looking forward to that. It seems like a pretty put together season, a put together group. Seems like they've taken the rubric of everything that has been done before.
The
rubric. I do want to ask before we finish for today, what do you think about a design challenge being the first introduction to a brand new series? Because we did this in Canada. And did we do that in UK? No, we did not do that in UK. And then we did not do that for Down Under either. Their introductions were photos and dual runways. But Canada and España both said, we're going to throw a bunch of crap at you and see what you make. What do you think about that as the very first impression for the very first series of its kind?
So this is very old school Drag Race formula, which is episode 1, sewing challenge.
Right.
Episode 2, acting challenge. And that lasted for a really long time. And now I like how UK did it most recently, which is episode 1, talent show, with a hometown look runway. Hometown looks, episode 1. Episode 2, sewing challenge. Then make them sew, but don't make them sew first. Or alternatively, episode 1, non-elimination, hometowns. Episode 2, first elimination, sewing challenge.
I'm into that too. I love a non-elim episode 1.
Yeah.
We did that in Canada's Drag Race season 4 and then in UK 5, right?
Yeah, and 6 now as well.
Spoilers. Okay. I love a non-elim first episode because it does suck to go home first and not really even get to share who you really are. Like, one could argue you have your 15 minutes and if you don't use them, they're gone.
Yeah.
So, like, there's that argument, but also, like, drag deserves to get spotlighted. So let them show what they've got and let them do their thing for the very first one because, you know, the rest of the competition's not going to be fair.
Yeah.
So let everybody get an opportunity to show what they got and then let them peel off until
give
you...
them a chance.
Then give them your winner because you already know you're going to do it anyway, RuPaul. So I liked this. I like this as a very first one. I think the right decisions were made. I think the right person went home. Overall, this was a strong showing for first episode of this series. And there's something both exciting about it and something energetic about it. But I will say the workroom energy is distinctly more manic.
Oh, yeah.
Than it is in other seasons. Like, thinking about Holland, which had manic energy around the edit and the producing, where it would just do all these random cuts to people just shouting, and then it would be Abby fighting, and then it'd be Fred on the runway, and then Abby fighting again. It's like the energy of the edit was weird. The energy of the queens is just a lot. They're all talking over each other.
Yeah.
Every time that they're talking really fast and loud.
Yeah. The energy is crazy.
Cuts all over the workroom because they're all talking at the same time.
Yeah.
They don't give the space to each other to speak like they do in other seasons. And if that might just be excitement.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything malicious until Carmen talks. And then they're all like, zip.
Yeah, they're
quiet.
like mother speaking.
Everyone shut up. A new Carmen monologue just dropped.
Literally.
Well, this episode was a really good start.
It was a great start to a great season.
I'm excited. So we'll probably end up doing 3 episodes.
I can see that probably like the rest of like the first half of the season and then
Yeah.
the second half.
Because there's 9 episodes total, I believe. This is a
yeah.
shorter season,
It's a
so we'll probably
shorter
do 4 and
season.
4.
Yeah, I can see that. For us.
Production. Sorry, everyone listening.
Yeah, sorry, planning our production things, you know. I
I'm
see that.
so excited, though. This is a good one so far.
Yeah, even just the next episode is crazy. The next episode is girl groups.
Oh.
Da-dee-da, da-dee-da, to diva.
Why did that sound like I'm in love?
This song is like burned into my brain. They sing. I told you before. They sing it themselves.
Yo, that's
The
right.
chorus and everything.
The
It's all-
melody you just sang was I'm in love. I'm in love. I'm in love. Well, la la la.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Sorry
it
to
is.
bring up All Stars
Oh,
5.
God. Oh God. How dare
With
you
Hannibal
mention their name.
Lecter. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm excited to experience more of Drag Race Espana. And we will chat with you next week. Take care of yourselves. Remember, you're doing a great job. You're doing the best you can, and that is all you can do. Goodbye.
May.
Adios.